second episode of Growing Up in the 2000s. As always, I'm your host, Kade.
And I'm your host, Teddy.
And with us today...
I'm Chad.
It's okay.
I'm the third host. I'm taking it over. I said
takeover for our second episode. But we have a podcast veteran, Chad, from the Chadcast.
Yes, that is me. Most people don't know Chad is short for Chadcast. That's where I came up with the name. And I've had both Kade and Teddy on, so it's nice for everything to go full circle, which it all seems it does, and to be on their podcast. I'm really excited.
Chad, we are so happy to have you, and just to have just a podcast veteran in here for our first guest is a true blessing. So,
do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Chad?
Yeah,
let the audience get to know you.
Yep. Well, as I discussed earlier, Chad's short for Chadcast. I'm drinking some cranberry juice out of this cup. You know, that's what's going on immediately. But a little bit of background on me. I'm 5'9". Okay, first and foremost. I'm living in Corvallis right now. I got roommates, who I live with. I also have a podcast. We touched on that earlier. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. Still kind of doing it. They're already more consistent than me. I'll give them that. They've already gone 2 in a row. That's the first big jump you have to make. I'm pretty proud of them. And I've known Kade and Teddy for I don't know how long, at least 4 years, something around there.
Yeah,
that's it.
We met back in elementary school.
We went to Country Christian together, located on the outskirts of Molalla.
Those were the days.
The good old days. I had no idea Kade went there, to be honest, but
no one does.
Because I feel like you were a grade under, and then Parker was a grade over than me, so there was overlap in sports. But I wasn't really paying it. I wasn't all there as a kid, I wasn't fully developed. But I'll look back at my old sports photos, like soccer, baseball, or whatever, and I'll be in pictures with you guys. So that's something right there.
Yeah, we have brief moments together, and then later on in life.
Yeah, crazy how it all, like I said, full circle. That's the number one thing I've learned. Everything comes back around.
I know, it's crazy. I remember when you were first telling us about how you were going to start a podcast, and it was just like such a random thing, and we were like, I don't even know. Is Chad really serious about this? Is he going to launch this full scale? But
well, it was like that for a while, and it just finally came about, so right. Now I'm here. Now I'm on your podcast. So
fast forward, and you've influenced us, and you're on our show. And guys, we're huge fans of the Chadcast. If we suggest that you go check that out as well. Support.
Yeah, go specific if you want to learn a little something more about Teddy and or Kade, they were on there. You'll have to scroll down a little bit, season 1, but they're there. We
were some of the first guys he had on there, so we just got to pay our dues to him.
Yeah, you were like the 4th or something, and Kade was like the first one when I was recording in the Canby library. I think one of the first. Anyway.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I upgraded studios for a while.
Nice.
The good old Canby Public Library.
Yeah. Great era for the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Chad. So today we're going to be talking about something everyone can relate to. Recess.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic recess.
Those 20 to 30
the TV
minutes.
show, the Nickelodeon TV
That's
show.
That's what we're talking about, Chad. We're not talking about
Nick's recess.
Talking about the show.
I thought it was Disney.
Oh yeah, my bad. It's definitely Disney before it became Disney XD.
Though. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed that show actually.
I very vaguely remember it.
Well, it always reminded me of being at recess myself.
Yeah, and that's all that matters, really.
Yeah. So, Chad, growing up, what was the best recess game?
The best recess game, definitely Country Christian kickball when it was still inside. And they kind of took us outside because how old the Country Christian gym was. It's that if you got loft on it, you just hit these lights and there'd just be the fear. They start swaying like they're a little detached and they could just fall on a kid. It was really scary, but you had to kick it as hard as you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. They never did, but we weren't.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Outside was still pretty cool too, though. Kickball was always fun.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, those days when we'd go to the field and play.
Oh, the field. It gets warm. We're allowed to wear shorts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not Friday, so we're not dressed nice for chapel, so we can slide and stuff. Those were the days of Country Christian. I'll tell you what.
Remember that like one light in like the corner that was always hanging like that?
Yeah. I that gym is probably still not well built. I broke my nose in that gym due to a drip.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like dripping water in the winter, and like I slipped on it and fell on my nose. It was very like it was almost like a cartoon, you know. And that was the first bone I ever broke. It was because of that gym. You know, crazy story there too. You know.
Well, see, I didn't go to Country Christian in elementary school. I went to a public school, of course, here in Canby. So there might be some different experiences. I remember tag was definitely a big playground activity, whether it was freeze tag or toilet tag or whatever tag that you can name. A lot of the times we would play football, two-hand touch. We couldn't tackle because that was, you can't tackle kids.
Yeah.
That we would try to, but the playground monitor would just get really mad at us. So we'd play two-hand touch, and honestly, another big thing we did was wall ball. I don't know if you guys did wall ball, but we would have straight-up tournaments for wall ball, like around the world. I remember wall ball being a ton of fun. And, we also played kickball, too, out in the field every once in a while. And we had Foursquare. Foursquare was another game we played a lot.
I feel like when I moved to Canby, like that's when I got into those games, like especially like two-hand touch football or like Foursquare or wall ball. Like that's when I like more got into it.
So what grade did you actually move to Canby? Just to clarify.
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade. Okay.
Fifth grade. Yeah. And then 2, 3, and 4, I was in Country Christian, and then before I was in Arizona.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Definitely a lot of two-hand touch on the playground for sure.
Were you a big Foursquare kid?
Not the church. But Foursquare I wasn't that bad at. I feel like if I played it my whole life like some of these Canby kids, I could have been a little bit better. Country Christian, great school, did not have precisely 4 corners even and flat. It would have just been an unfair playing service for whoever got the last square probably. So, but I was okay. I could hang. I'm not going out first, or at least I'm not trying to. I wish I was that active though. I feel like I'd be in way better shape if like you could just go play all these playground games still. Like, I feel like it'd be so beneficial to us.
Yeah.
I wish it was still socially acceptable for like 20-year-old kids to go play games on the playground.
Dude, well, Foursquare is like tennis, but like you're using your arms, I feel like there's room for someone to make the professional league of this. If they're getting away with cornhole, and all these things, I think there's definite room for wall ball.
Wall ball for sure.
Wall ball, yeah, because like the hand-eye coordination it gives you and you need to play it is definitely useful in life. Not everyone could do it. There's definitely professionalism.
I remember even if you weren't playing wall ball and you were just in line to play, it was exciting to watch because it was like nonstop action, kids diving all over, hitting like game-saving shots against the wall, little out of bounds, like deep shot. Like there's a lot of things that went into the game, and like it just got your heart pumping just to watch it. So that could definitely turn into a legitimate sport, I think.
I'm gonna go trademark it.
Do you remember this one move? I don't know if it was at Canby, but it was at Country Christian for wall ball, where the ball was high enough, you could just like go under it and be like rainbow, and then it's like you don't have to hit the ball. The other kid didn't
yeah,
do
I
it.
forgot about that. Yeah, I feel like that was in Canby too.
Yeah, that was a stupid move.
It was a cheap shot for sure.
Do you think that would be allowed in the tournaments, or did they cut that one out?
It's I mean, it's referee's discretion, of course. You know, if they do it correctly, you know, it'd have to be hard though. Like the timing of it would have to be like you barely have to duck. It'd have to be if someone hit it so high that you could just walk over it without like getting any lower than bending your neck, in my opinion. That's how I'd score it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was the Dana White of this federation I'm putting together, I would definitely make that the rule.
Is that the same thing as like in wall ball? It's like called magic. You yell like magic and you'd fake it. You'd like swing under the ball and like it would just keep going. I remember kids doing some weird stuff that always got me out.
That sounds even worse.
Yeah.
That's like, how do you even know? Like, I feel like I wouldn't allow that. That wouldn't be. Yeah, that'd be cheap.
That's just a dirty move.
It was the dirtiest thing to do in elementary.
Because I feel like you just yell magic if you accidentally miss it.
yeah. Did you guys did you know like was it called Butterfinger with the little ball, the tennis ball, and you throw it against the wall and you have to catch it before it lands? And it'd be.
I've heard of the name. I don't think I ever played it.
Yeah, we did that too. It's kind of like wall ball except it's a tennis ball, and you would just throw it at the wall, and like it was harder because the ball was smaller, and you'd just have to run and catch it.
Mm-hmm.
It was intense too, if you guys knew about it.
Yeah, I'm uneducated, but I could believe it's intense.
Yeah, right.
I feel like we played it once, and then like the recess monitor was just like, nope, no more of that. Like,
dude, that guy was.
What
was that guy's name? Because it was the same guy, like at Country Christian. He was like kind of balding, had the hair on the side.
Yeah, Mr. Turner. He was the best.
Yeah.
And then there was the lady, and she wasn't that nice.
You know, that's funny because we had Mrs. Turner, who was the principal
in
my middle school. So must be something about that name that just summons death.
She liked me.
Oh, okay.
She had like an admiration for me. I still have that healthy trust or healthy distrust of leadership. So I'm like, I don't know about this Miss Turner, but like, I'm not gonna make her mad because I know she's in charge. I remember one time at Country Christian, it became kind of a fad or maybe even a meme to like when you're writing numbers, you like do the fancy ways for all of them. Like you triangle the 4 and you like do a 7 like that, you know. I don't know
what?
Yeah, you like add a little tail onto the 7. Like if you look at a Jack Daniels bottle, the 7 looks like that. And there were like a few other ones. Like we were getting really fancy with it. And Mrs. Grandel did not appreciate it. She told us to knock it off.
Dude, Mrs. Grandel was the worst teacher ever.
She was telling me that she burnt books once, which is like the most stereotypical, like unrational Christian thing to do, is to burn books. And then the next step is burning someone you think is a witch.
That's from Footloose, where the priest was burning the book.
Causing those kids to dance.
Yeah, you just gotta dance through it, man.
She'd always hold us in for recess too. She's like, "Oh, you guys like talk during math, so 5 minutes gone."
Yeah, I remember like my teachers were doing like that super lightweight stuff where it's like, "Oh, one of you guys was talking in the back. I heard it. So you're going to get an extra 10 minutes before you go to lunch." Like just little stuff like that.
Damn.
Like, okay, whatever.
Starve these kids.
Yeah.
What was any other recess games you were quite fond of?
I feel like recess, you know, two-hand touch was definitely great. I feel like I had some great highlights. You know, I'd jump up, I'd catch the ball, you know. That, and I remember just like even in Arizona, like the thing, it's not quite like monkey bars, but it's like a half sphere, you know. It's like a dome. and you
know.
can climb on it, climb in it. Yeah, that was always fun. Just the playground stuff was kind of cool. The swings, you know, you jump off the swings, you get a little rush of adrenaline.
Yes.
You know, just classic stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I remember just hanging out on the swings, just like hanging, talking to people. Well, not even swinging, just using them as a chair. Yeah, swing. I did a lot of swings when I was really younger. Swings are cool. Even like, when I'm older, I think swings are fun.
Yeah.
Were you a lava monster kid?
No, what was that?
So it's like it's like a version of tag where one person is it and they're the lava monster, right? And
I
and they can't touch any of the playground structure. Maybe like a certain color. It's usually like red they can go on. But everyone else, they can't touch the floor and they can only be on the playground structure.
Huh.
So it's like they're the lava monster because the floor is lava.
That sounds so vaguely familiar, but I don't think I played it, at least enough.
We played it. It was more of a junior high game.
Yeah.
For us, it was fun.
It can be dangerous jumping around, like jumping across the monkey bars and everything. I didn't play it too much, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember being a kid thinking it was so cool to climb all the way to the top, like on top of the play structure, like above the roof and everything, and just hang out.
You were the coolest if you could scale the whole play structure, like King of the Hill. You're just up there, like I'm better than all of you guys, just so you know. Like you know what I mean? Like that was good stuff.
What about Bump? Were you a big Bump kid?
Or no?
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean, that's just a classic game, especially in the wintertime where you're like recesses are inside.
Yeah.
And you just get like a line of like 10 people. And then you're like, all right, we're taking it back to the 3. And then that's when it gets serious. And then it's just a little ridiculous if you go to the half court because no one's making it. Everyone's just chucking it at the rim so they can catch it real quick and make their layup.
Correction.
But yeah, that's
no one was making it except for me.
How could I forget? When it got kind of funny is when we were like playing at youth group and it was just like 2 feet. The hoop was the small one in the basement, so it was like we could look up and nearly kiss the rim, and we were just throwing it in there.
Yeah.
It was just like everyone would just like chuck it at the board, and then they just going for like a dunk or like a layup.
Yeah, that was a strategy. Yeah, missing on purpose. But on the bump subject, sorry. I actually enjoyed when it was wintertime and like it was poor weather because I liked the gym more than outside because you could play like basketball and all these different things in the gym that I thought were more entertaining than like, you know, the other stuff outside. So I always had the best times playing knockout in the gym.
Were you more of a gym or a playground person?
I like a healthy mix, you know. I mean, when I was a kid, I'd get spring fever. You know, I wanted to be outside, especially like the first 60-degree day. You want to go out there and experience it, you know, because it was like more of a treat to go to the outside field, at least at Country Christian back in the day. It's like you weren't always doing that. Like that was like a summer thing, but it was really cool. So maybe I lean a little towards outside, at least in that respect. You know, it changes every place, you know.
Do you remember that when they would allow you to go to the field, that tree that like leans and then goes up that everyone would just climb on? Yeah. Good memories there.
Classic tree. Shout out if you're listening.
Shout out to all the Country Christian kids that know about the tree.
I don't know if you guys did this, but I remember like when I was younger in elementary school during recess, we would all bring like our Bakugans or like like just like Pokemons and stuff like that to recess and like show each other them.
Dude, at Country Christian, I don't know if it was just my age for a little while. There are these things called a tactics. And I have mentioned these and no one knows what they are. and I don't even know if we played with them correctly, but they just would like roll forward. They would click. I think there was a dice thing in them. Like I had like a Darth Vader one, and there were like Transformers ones and stuff. Okay, do you know what I'm talking about here?
I totally forgot about these, but now all I remember is them.
That's all you can think about.
Dude,
Yeah, one kid
I
had
just
the
remember
Death Star
wanting
one.
one so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I had one, maybe.
Wow.
I think I had one too.
Yeah.
I think I'd finally convinced my dad to buy me one. But because everyone had them, and I was like, they were playing with them at the lunch table. I'm like, what are these? And they're like, a tactics. And like that thing just is the zeitgeist of specifically country Christian because no one else has heard of these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Dude,
glad
I
Kate
forgot
knows.
all about those.
I remember like you were cool if you brought like these weird new toys to school, like at lunch or wherever, and you were showing them off. Like, hey, look, it's my tech decks, or it's like my silly bands, or whatever other toys that were in
The silly bands.
Yeah, like you were showing them off, and like every kid was like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get that? I want that!" Like whatever new toy it was. I just remember a lot of kids bringing stuff in, and I was like, "Oh, I want one of those."
Did you
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of silly bands, Chad?
Yeah, what was your silly band collection like?
Oh my god, I had like the ducks colored one.
Ooh,
It's like the football helmet and the football.
yes.
And I think I traded a few of them. I saw a couple the other month. I was kind of just digging through my closet. I've moved around a decent amount. So I have boxes that like I barely touched since Arizona because they were like just toys or whatever. So I'll go in there, I'll look inside and be like, oh, there's like a white helmet. You know, that was the silly band craze.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many knockoffs were produced during then. Like I don't even think they're real silly bands, but you know, you just had to have them.
Yeah, I remember like seeing a kid whose wrist was like a full sleeve of silly bands, and it was like that was like a Rolex equivalent in elementary, you know?
Yeah.
They're just rocking that diamond on them, just the full arm sleeve, and I just had like a few of them that I got from like friends or wherever. I was like, oh, here's my hockey stick, and it's like they got the whole set of whatever. So yeah, that was definitely a craze for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I ever like owned any silly bands, but I think I had like a few friends who gave me like 2 each, so I had like 4.
That's how you get started. That's how the addiction happens, you know, socially. And you're just wearing silly bands by yourself, doing the infinity so they are on your wrist a little bit tighter. In the case of me, who's a skinnier man, so they stayed better, you know.
Oh yeah.
Your arm just getting like slightly like blue at the rim.
You ever like carry like a bunch of grocery bags and then like one's just like kind of, and you just kind of like spin it on your finger just and then it like kind of like makes it all blue.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just like bored.
It's like that.
So it's pretty much like
that's
that.
The same
You know?
thing.
That's what I was doing. That with silly bands back in the day.
I think we all were, to be honest.
I think Teddy touched on this
Mm-hmm.
briefly. Tag, you know, there was a ton of different types of tag. What were some of your favorites?
You know, the movie Tag that came out a few years ago strikes me as one of my favorites.
That was actually a good movie. Like I enjoyed it.
And then of course you got standard Tag, then you got the watch manufacturer Tag Heuer, and then you got Tag, which is like a body spray. It's like a version of Axe in some other country. And then you got Freeze Tag, which is also pretty cool because you're just like stuck there. But then you get the option to come save your friend and be the hero and like unfreeze them. You know, some people play by those rules. That was always a great moment. That might be my favorite variation, but I haven't played all the variations to know for sure.
In Freeze Tag, did you ever have someone who was unfrozen like by you and you're like, hey, come unfreeze me, and then they just like kind of like take a glance at you and don't unfreeze you?
No, but I'd get like unfrozen, but they were being so closely chased, like my acceleration wasn't there. I'd just be back in the frozen position.
That would happen like so often in the game.
Wow.
Yeah, Freeze Tag. There's definitely some iconic moments in there. You know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Whether it was on the playground or in the gym, like I just remember everyone going crazy for tag of any kind. Toilet tag was my favorite, because you got to flush, whenever you. It was pretty much freeze tag from what I remember, except you were able to flush someone.
Did you ever do the toilet tag?
I think I did a few times. It wasn't my brand of tag, Not that I was ever suggesting the tag, and maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was more of a tag freeze tag type of man myself.
Moving past recess to more of a structured time was PE.
Yeah.
And in elementary school, it was still a lot of games. It was kind of like recess, but
yeah.
But I don't really know.
I mean, you learned games, but I mean, the second you get to put on those like terribly smelling penny jerseys, the yellow and the red, the ketchup and the mustard, and you get on those wheel boards and you run over your fingers over and over again, that you're not truly a child in America until you experience that, in my opinion.
Yes.
What do you call those scooter cart things?
Yeah, just like scooter boards or something. I don't know.
I've always just said floor scooters. I don't even know if they have an official name.
I don't know either, but that's like the most killer leg workout when when the PE teacher tells you to switch around and then you're like backstroking forward and you're looking around. There's some gnarly crashes with those. Honestly, that could be a sport too.
I remember like all like the girls that had long hair would just hate them because they'd always get their hair stuck and like you'd hear like from like across the gym. You're like, oh, that must be her getting her hair stuck. It was like you felt bad, but it was like funny at the same time. So
yeah, no, that was classic. Badminton, badminton was fun to play. I don't know if you guys had this, but when I was in Arizona, I remember the first things I did in PE was climb the rope. It was like a real like Disney high school situation where you had to climb up the rope as high as you can, and then you'd have to come back down. And I got like uncomfortably high. Like I was like, all right, I'm just going back down now because I'm like kind of scared. I was like 4 or 5 climbing this rope in a gym. Nowhere. I guess the PE teacher would have caught me if I fell, but
well, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe not though.
If he's lucky. I mean, if you're lucky.
Yeah. No, if he's lucky and gets to catch me.
Yeah, we definitely did not have the budget for a rope.
I don't think Canby had that either.
No.
What was your favorite part about PE? Maybe like a favorite PE game? Besides the scooter carts, of course.
Yeah, scooter carts, I mean, there's just so much action in those and so much you can do with them. It's like, there's the swimming motion, there's the back motion, and then you're like trying to scoot with the arms. I'm trying to I know there's some good ones. I mean, everything, just getting to play a sport, just like getting active, staying active. I think that's like a really important part of the schooling, that kids may be missing out on right now. I think it's very important to stay active in some ways. Even now, like we have athletic fields on campus over here in Corvallis, and those are like anytime I get to play soccer or basketball or something with my friends over there, that's just such a great experience, even though I'm like tired and I'm like out of breath and need water. So that like always throws it back to PE. It's hard to beat scooter boards though. I feel like you guys will mention something and I'll remember it and be like, yeah, that was really fun. But I think I gotta lock in scooter boards as my final answer.
I have one. Do you remember a game where you would have to crab walk the entire time and you would form lines? Like there are 4 lines, 4 sides. You'd form a box. And each team was on a line, and there was a massive ball, like a huge ball, and you would crab walk. I think you could do it on the scooters, or you could use crab walk, but you would have to walk around like that, and like whoever was able to kick the ball onto the enemy team's side, they would score a point on that. On that team, and like the first team that got like to 5 was just out, and like that's how you won. That was really fun. I don't know what it's called, but it was super
Yeah.
fun because like you had to defend.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
There's that one, and then there's dung beetle battle where it's a circle with the ball and you're trying to kick it over, but you're like
Okay.
sat. It's like four corners and you're sat in one place. That's where they do it with all the teams. That ball's also like in the PE equipment Hall of Fame. I'll say put it next to the scooter boards.
Right.
Like the grandma exercise ball, right?
Well,
Like those
Yeah.
big gray ones, because that's what we'd use. I remember.
Yeah.
it wasn't a yoga ball. It was more of like
No, this had like cloth.
it was definitely like cloth, yes, like a leather cloth sort of thing. I don't know if they just put that over a fitness ball.
Yeah, it feels like thinking about it. Yeah, they just put like a little soccer ball cloth texture over the yoga ball.
Who knows? Maybe there's like a sporting goods store out there for PE teachers. Should just go and buy all these cool things that we don't know about.
Yeah, I kind of
I
remember
could see it.
like the crab walking with like, but I feel like we used a yoga ball at Country Christian.
I could see Country Christian just doing that.
Yeah.
Going to the high school pharmacy, picking up a yoga ball. We'll let the kids play with this for an hour before they go to art class.
Yeah, I feel like I remember there was like I don't know if you were here for this, but I feel like we played like almost like soccer with that once, but like you pushed it or something. But I feel like someone got kicked in the face with the ball, so we stopped playing it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I feel like 90% of things stopped at that school was like someone got hit in the face.
Dude. Oh no.
Oh
This
no.
is such a great story. My phone decided to fall. So I remember we were playing dodgeball once, and this was after like they got rid of the rubber dodgeballs. This was definitely like the soft, like small, like fit in the palm of your hand balls. And this kid, I'll just use first names. His name was Brady. He threw the ball, and this kid Robert, who tried to catch it, broke his finger because it was thrown at such a weird velocity that it broke like his ring finger trying to catch it. It just went like that. And I remember like we had to stop playing dodgeball.
I remember like that day.
Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff getting ruined by like someone getting hurt. Like I remember when we had those dodgeballs that were rubber, and like if you threw it hard enough at someone, it'd just leave a red mark. And then they downgraded though to those just like plushy ones, and it was like hard
just the foam.
Like you couldn't even get like as good like velocity on that. It was just like you were throwing a Nerf ball or something.
They wore out quick too. You could tell which ones had been in circulation for a while, and then like a new fresh one.
Oh yeah.
America's just soft these
Right,
days.
yeah.
You more rubber baiting dodgeballs, I say.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. I was saying we should pelt these kids with
Yeah.
rubber dodgeball.
Yeah, you broke your finger, just walk it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
broken.
Snap it back into place. Yeah.
Yeah, that shoulder is going back in there. Just push it hard
Do
enough.
some push-ups to get it back into place.
Turn around and I'll throw the ball at you again and it'll knock it back into place.
Yeah.
That's my
If
suggestion.
you throw it at an opposite direction, it'll fix it.
Yes.
Do you ever like when those foam balls, like they were starting to like peel, and then you could like throw them from the peel, like a slingshot almost?
Yeah. I do know what you're talking about.
That was really fun to do.
Yeah.
It was terrible if you're playing dodgeball.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like especially now you have dodgeball in this context, like you just catch all of those.
Yeah.
Like we've gotten too big, those are definitely like for kids and kids alone. You ever watch that episode of Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory where he kicks the dodgeball on the Chanel West Coast? You ever see that video?
I've
guys are
never
missing
gone
out.
out of my way to watch Rob Dyrdek. I'm sorry.
You're missing out, dude. That was a great, you 2000s kids just don't know. But I feel like even then that's a pivotal moment if you grow up in 2000s watching extreme sports on the TV. If you guys remember that video, drop a 5-star review in the iTunes comments and say I also remember that, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Well, do you guys remember like Wipeout? That show?
Oh yeah.
That was awesome. Or Ninja Warrior, where they'd go through these crazy obstacle courses. I always loved watching those.
I always really wanted to do those.
Yeah, they look fun. It was probably terrible though
Oh, yeah.
to fall into like that mud, but
Oh yeah, and you have to actually like train for American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was talking more
You
along
could
the
just
lines
be
of
any guy
Wipeout.
off the street, do Wipeout, get covered in mud.
Yeah, it looked fun.
Then they just swim in the mud too. I never want to be able to swim in mud.
Mm.
Yeah, the texture's not there.
One thing we should talk about though is the fitness tests that we had to do in PE. I'm sure
God.
you both remember that. You know, the mile run or the push-ups, the sit-ups, shuttle run. I know I've had a lot of memories of being forced to exert myself physically and in ways that I would rather not in PE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, it sucks, especially the stretching drills. Like I'm like a shorter guy, but I'm still lanky. Like my legs are longer than my torso, so I maybe after days of stretching I can touch my toes, but right now I couldn't. So to try and like bring out this red plastic board I'm putting my feet at and I'm trying to reach over, that was the worst part for me.
I totally understand. I was in the same boat. Like my legs are so long, I couldn't get to my toes. And like I remember like all these people that went before me were like, oh, easily like they're grabbing their whole foot with like their hand, and I can barely get my toe with my finger. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
I think I was one of the kids that could do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, of course,
Always been,
Kate.
I've always been a flexible boy, you know.
Yeah, you shouldn't say it like
You're just in the top percentiles for everything.
Oh, well, no, just for touching my toes.
oh, that's important now, huh? Just touching your toes.
Yeah, I don't know who can touch their toes the most in 30 seconds.
It's like an instant replay. It's like slow motion, like bending down and touching your toes. Like, whoa! The crowd goes crazy.
Oh,
I know we played this at Country Christian, but do you remember like line tag or like Pac-Man tag in PE?
I do.
I feel like if you explained it, I would.
All right,
Yeah, I
so
don't-
like a few people are it, and then everyone else is like not it, and they have to like run on the lines. Like you have to stay on the lines on the gym floor.
Yeah.
And if you get tagged, you have to sit down and like you just block the entire path.
Yeah, no, now I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. That was like, I mean, that was like a really good. That might be in my top tags. You know, I'll put it top 3. Freeze classic. That I think, at least from experience,
What
that was
are-
pretty
yeah,
good.
What are the other two?
Classic tag and freeze tag.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, tag.
I remember line tag.
Honorable mention movie tag
Oh,
with Jeremy Renner.
And the other guys too.
Ed Helms.
Oh, yeah, he's
Ed Helms was in it.
Some other guys.
I was like me and my friend Carson were like the only 2 people in the theater watching that. And I got to watch it for free because he worked at the theater.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Like we walked in there empty. They were missing out. They were sleeping on.
My experience was probably the same. I remember it being.
I think we saw it together.
Yeah, there was very few people in there with us, but it was a fantastic movie.
Well, okay, fantastic.
Hey, it's underrated.
It's a stretch.
It's underrated at least.
Yeah.
I think
It's underrated for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was genuinely good.
Yeah, it was good.
I've definitely seen worse movies.
It's the best movie of all time.
You know what?
Takes on
It's
the
in my
pod.
top 3 tags. It's in my
Yeah.
top 3 tags of all time.
That's pretty good.
And that's a big list, too.
right.
There's at least 27 tags on my personal list. I don't want to waste the viewers' time going over them all, of course.
It could be a whole episode. Let's talk
Yeah.
about tag.
Yeah.
Maybe down the road, if we just run dry of anything else, we just talk about tag for a whole episode.
Yeah. If we ever invite you back on the podcast, just know it's to go over those 27 tags.
It just become like a stretch in the end where it's just words that like involve the word tag, like NFL Hall of Famer Willie Taggart, and he's in the top 27.
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah, tagging like clothes, like putting tags on clothes, like when they have a sale. Like that's one of my top 27 favorite tags. You know, I can't spoil it all. There might be another episode. That's just
much, Chad.
that's a sampler. That's 5 of 27.
Speaking of tag, capture the flag. Any do you ever play those?
What are you feeling about that?
Yeah.
Of course.
Any
Of
highlights
course,
you
you
wanna
know.
share?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know, there was always someone complaining about puppy guarding, okay? You know, it was you know, that was like the biggest insult you could get and capture the flag. But you know, I say defense wins championships, me personally.
Yeah.
So, you know, of course they're gonna guard the flag, but you know, you gotta be good light on your feet, gotta be good with the jukes, wear something with some ankle support, you know, regardless of if you're playing in the grass or in the gym, you know, and you gotta have communication. You know, you might need 3 people going at it at once because the guy only has 2 arms.
Yeah.
But they can get tagged, be out on their side to get the numbers advantage. It's you know, there's a lot of thought that goes into this game, and maybe that's why I like it too. You know, that's a great one to bring up.
Yeah. The best words any elementary kid can hear is jailbreak. You know.
That was just.
That can happen in dodgeball too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those words were like hearing a shot go off when you're doing track. You know. Just boom, out of the gates, you're going.
The worst was in dodgeball when a jailbreak gets called, and then like you just get pelted in like the side walking back.
Oh. Yeah.
And it's worse when the teacher laughs at you. You come right back.
You ever watched the show Total Drama Island as a kid?
Total what?
You ever hear of that?
Total Drama
Island. It was on Cartoon Network. Total Drama Island.
Oh, I don't think I did.
There was a dodgeball episode where it's just slow motion people getting hit, and it just sticks with me. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just remember the commercials for that show. I never really watched it.
You should watch it. It's so funny. It's on Netflix, not an ad.
Like, would it be funny to 20-year-olds?
The first season holds up so well, and it's funnier now that I know stuff. Like, to think that it's a kid show, like, is beyond me, you know. I don't know what Mr. Network was doing, but you know, you greenlit it.
That's like SpongeBob, you know. You go back and like there's some hidden stuff there that's like, whoa. But it's funny. Older people. Let's see, is there anything else you want to talk about in the PE sort of topic? I mean, did you ever do jump rope? There's a whole unit on jump rope I remember having to do like the different.
Oh yeah, that I do remember that.
That was insane.
I just remembered like getting into high school, and like we were still doing PE and we did floor hockey.
Oh, I remember that very well.
And I wasn't allowed to like you weren't allowed to like lift your stick up off the ground at all, or you'd have to do 10 push-ups, and that made me mad because I'd like do it just not even trying to every now and then, and that just really teed me off, you know, having to do those 10 push-ups in front of everyone.
You know, it feels like that's PE2 or PE1 or whatever, but I feel like that took up at least 50% of the course. Like, I feel like we were doing floor hockey for a good amount of the term, and like then the rest of it was just like something else. But I remember doing way too much floor hockey for anyone to enjoy. And like, yeah, I remember that thing too about the lifting the stick off the ground. It's like, I can't hit it when it's just sliding across the floor. So.
Yeah, true hell.
Your shins too were getting bashed in too, because you weren't wearing pads, so you had that plastic stick getting hit into your leg all the time. Wasn't great at all.
Not at all.
I feel like my school back in like junior high and high school PE, the game we played the most was definitely basketball. Everyone always chose basketball. Like, she'd let us vote on it for some reason. So even if we played basketball the day before, everyone would still choose basketball the next day. So it'd just be like a cycle. So then eventually I was just like, oh, I forgot my gym clothes, you know, just so I could sit down.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
you know,
I mean, I hate to say it, but I was one of those kids who would always vote for basketball just because I enjoy basketball a lot. But
yeah, I just never got past the ball, so it's not like I could even play.
I would always vote for like bocce ball. Me personally, I was a big bocce ball kid.
You guys got to play bocce ball in PE?
No, play bocce ball.
I don't remember playing.
No,
bocce
I was the only one who would vote for it. So we never had the votes.
Yeah, I just vote for like swimming.
I'd like to play croquet today. Where are my croquet heads at?
I would enjoy luge today.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to do some skeet shooting today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If everyone votes for it, you'd have to go out and buy some.
They have to.
Equipment for that.
By law.
Yeah.
I mean, we are a democracy. It's important you remember to vote, even for skeet shooting.
Yes, it's important to remember to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting.
Guys, I don't know if you heard, there's an election coming up.
What? For skeet shooting?
Yeah.
Kind of circling back almost to the fitness tests. Everybody remembers the mile.
Smile.
Yeah. When it came to the mile, were you a runner or just a walker? I remember we had.
I would try and keep a jog. Almost every step of life, I just try and ride straight through the middle, almost the ketosis of life, on the keto diet and whatnot. But I don't actually do the keto diet, just keeping straight in the middle. So I didn't want to be one of those kids who just walked,
Yeah.
and just like didn't take it seriously. Because if you're walking, you're just going to be out there longer. I wanted to get back inside because usually there was a game afterwards, which kept me motivated. Because like I'd rather go play basketball or something like that than just walk this track. And at Baker Prairie Middle School, it was outside.
Oh, yeah.
It might be the winter where it's cold and wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I don't want to be out there for very long. So I just try and, pace myself, try not to like get my heart pumping too quick or run out of breath. Just try and finish as fast as I could, of course. I was never a quick mile runner. I'm still not now. But I could get it done, I ain't finishing last, that's for sure.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. It was cold, like every single time we did it, it feels like. And I feel like if you're one of those people that was walking through it and you were getting lapped like all the time, like over and over, I feel like that kind of puts you in a sort of a group of people that you look at and you're like, they aren't really cool,
Yeah.
You said that.
You see I get lapped earlier?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just feel like you kind of look like a loser if you're just walking the whole thing. I'm sorry if any of you guys are listening to this and you are a walker, but I don't know. I don't know.
That way you turn it off. I don't want you listening to me. I don't want to entertain no walkers.
Yeah.
Get off this platform. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Podcasters are for people on the go. Okay, that's what podcasts are for.
It's for the morning commute.
Kate has a podcast.
I was actually about to say, so in junior high, sometimes I'd jog it, but most of the time I'd walk it. But that was just because my friends would walk it, and it doesn't really matter if you walked or run, because she wouldn't go back inside until everyone's done. So it's like you finish quick and then you just sit in the heat for like 20 minutes. Wow. Or like you just like walk around the school 4 times,
Yeah, Joe totally would walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe would
I don't
be
think
a
Joe
walker.
was a walker.
Well,
Joe's a walker.
When you like then finish and like they gave you your time and it was like a ton of like a huge amount.
Yeah.
Were you not like feel bad about yourself?
No, I didn't care.
You didn't care? Okay.
Because I just walked. So like it's not like I was expecting a good time.
Yeah.
But in high school, I definitely jogged or ran it.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because it wasn't even a mile. Like she was like, "Oh, I measured this, so it was a mile." But like we went on like oh my gosh, I think it's Google Earth where you can like do the distance thing.
Yeah.
It was only like
Mhm.
0.75.
Oh,
So kids were getting
Where
like
even
5-minute mile times.
where is that even like where would you accomplish that at Country Christian's campus?
So you start at the back of the two buildings, like right in the middle, kind of by that weird
Mhm.
house, you know?
Yeah.
And then you just go around it 4 times, and then you just go down that little road like a few feet.
Huh.
So it's definitely not a mile.
Yeah,
Way less.
yeah, no, it's not.
But
Hmm.
Wow.
so who knows? Because even if I walked, it was only like 15 or whatever. Just like we're like walking and talking. So
That's pretty,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, walking a mile is definitely more than 15 seconds. So,
well,
or
minutes.
minutes, sorry.
That's what paying for school gets you. About 30 seconds knocked off your mile time. You know, that extra 0.25.
Mm-hmm.
Us 1%ers at Country Christian didn't have to
Yeah.
run that last quarter of the mile.
It's such a high budget school.
It's a comedy podcast. Come on,
We're just having fun, man.
it's just a bit of a bit.
Journals.
Mm,
And we're just enjoying ourselves here. We're not trying to get all serious.
Yeah.
yeah, come on. You know,
A loose podcast.
we're just a couple of loose units. Okay, you know, you
Yeah.
never know where we're gonna be.
We're unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'll just put some glasses on. Like I don't even need them.
Ooh.
Yeah, but here, like
Ooh.
I got glasses. What else do I got here? I got props. I got a Chadcast sticker.
Oh,
Look at that.
Check it
You
out.
know,
check it out.
yeah.
The links.
What else do I got? I got a freaking screwdriver. Like Phillips head, of course. You know, I work on stuff. You know.
You're a hard
And
work man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Chad, when you put those glasses on and held up the screwdriver, kind of like a wand. I was getting some Harry Potter vibes from you.
Yeah, you
Not
saw
gonna
a
lie.
lightning bolt right here.
Yeah,
It appeared.
it appeared as though you were Harry Potter
Mm.
for a second.
Yeah, a part of him lives inside of me.
Under,
I'd say. Mm-hmm. This is also a Pendleton mug. I don't know if people would respect that.
I do actually. That's
I got
a lot
I
of
got
people
2 of these at Goodwill. I thrift. You know, that's kind of my passion. So, and I like cranberry juice, so I combined the two.
I'm a huge cranberry juice fan too, so I respect that for sure.
I like
Mhm.
cran grape. You know.
Yeah,
It's all right. That's kind of simple at this point for me. I'm drinking Cran Tropical.
Ooh.
It's got like orange, mango, and guava among cranberry, of course. So good.
Is it Ocean Spray?
It is Ocean Spray.
Okay, I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah, it's like at Safeway. I don't think they have it for Myers, but very good.
Got it.
They do?
Yeah, I'm seeing
No,
it.
we don't have it at my Fred Meyer.
Oh.
It's a location basis.
Yeah.
For sure. But I definitely recommend it. I reached out to them about sponsorships. They said they currently don't have any available, but I get it because it's like farmer ran. It's like a co-op.
Yeah,
they may not have the resources for that.
We were trying to get J. Crew to sponsor the podcast, but they never responded.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and at the Woodburn outlets, their store closed down. So
Really?
I don't know if they. Yeah.
At the Clackamas one, I hope that one doesn't shut down.
I feel like all those malls are going to shut down. Like full price stores make very little money compared to outlet stores.
Well, and online too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Online pretty much replaced the full price store.
It was already doing like so much better than stores, and then like now it's skyrocketing.
Mm-hmm. Especially because like I remember going into Clackamas like after like it opened back up. And like there's no social distancing. It's just a million people in like a closed area. Like you go to the Woodburn outlets, like it's open air, like you can distance a little bit better, night and day difference. And now everyone wears a mask, which is a very good thing.
Mhm.
Before, like, we weren't wearing masks in that mall. I still can't believe I was walking around without a mask, like, when everything first opened up. Like, that just sounds so stupid to me now. Now I'm just
I
doing
miss,
the pod
I
with
hope
you guys.
I hope the malls don't shut down though. I think going to the mall is a cool experience that like
Hmm.
a lot of future generations might not have, just because of online shopping.
Yeah.
It's a
Getting to
fun
go to the
thing.
mall was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, like as a kid, you're going with your parents or whatever, hanging with your friends at the mall. That was a huge thing. Getting the pretzel, Jamba Juice.
Oh, of course.
It's a cultural
Jamba Juice.
experience.
Yeah, Clackamas Mall, like 2 levels. You're walking into every store.
Yeah.
I would never buy anything from Made in Oregon, but I was still interested about going inside, seeing
Yeah.
what's going on.
Some cool stuff in there.
I check out the store like every time,
It's
but I
just-
never
it's
do
just
anything.
so inviting because you're like, this is where I live. This is what my
It's open air. I was made in Oregon, maybe I should go in there.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's just the mall is such an American experience, and it's going away slowly.
Yeah, it is.
Sad.
Outlet malls will stick around because there's like a reason to go, but full
Yeah.
price stuff, like, I don't know how much longer it got. I mean, PacSun has already like filed for bankruptcy before. Same with like Tilly's,
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for sure.
And like Sears, like the biggest store in all these malls shut down.
Yeah, it's gone.
Like that's crazy.
Can't find the Sears. I remember going to Sears all the time, dude. Like looking at like their laundry machines and like all the,
You
like
go to
they had, like,
the lowest level.
yeah, they had like their hardware section with like power tools. It's like you could be in Home Depot and Sears, and then like you go down a level and you're like, oh, you're in Macy's. It's like a bunch of clothing. It's like it's a crazy store, but yeah, it's gone for sure.
I thought there was one in Astoria still, but it was permanently closed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One in Portland.
maybe like a factory.
Yeah.
I think Sears is all gone because not a lot of people knew this, but Kmart bought Sears. It wasn't the other way around. So when Kmart like went under, all their properties were gone, and like the only thing that was worth anything was Craftsman, and it got sold off too. There's like a tool empire, like Stanley Black and Decker is a gigantic company that just owns all these other tool brands. Like you're probably buying the same tool over like 7 different brands. It's really weird.
Oh yeah, it's really crazy actually. Like all the different brands there are for saws. Like you got Still, Rigid, like all owned by one company.
Did you know that Adidas bought Reebok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like really bad for it. They just, Reebok had remember how they made like football jerseys and basketball jerseys?
Yeah, they used to be big.
Yeah, and they just transfer the licenses over to Adidas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy. All these weird takeovers that happen that you may not even notice.
Right.
Like Nike, they're opening a Hurley store at the outlets. So Nike's just going to have like a 3rd store there because they own Converse already. And then they're just going to have Hurley in the main Nike store.
I think they had Hurley for a while because I remember getting Hurley stuff.
No.
Like a few years.
But so the store next to Zoomies, I feel like rotates a lot. Like it was like an Etnies and a Volcom, like a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know for sure though. I'm no mall historian.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like to think you are though.
I just take notice of things.
Yeah. It's a lot of interesting stuff, I think. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's all capitalism, right? I'm a bit of a venture capitalist myself. I sell stickers, as I previously mentioned. I sell pins as well. Here, let me show you guys a pin real quick.
Oh,
you guys look at
pins now?
Yeah, I got these acrylic pins, 1 inch by 1 inch.
Ooh.
I've sold a few. They're limited edition, of course. They're just like the sticker, but smaller. And like, if you have commitment issues, the pin's probably better for you because you could just always take it off and put it somewhere else. That's how I like to sell it.
Wow. That's maybe a future idea for our pod. Getting some merch.
Merc.
Yeah, you guys could go to Canby Signs and Graphics and
Is that where
draft
you
up.
did it?
No, I didn't, but I
Oh,
just think it's funny, just to go there.
Yeah, like where all the sports teams go. Really young.
You go to Team Spirit. You get
Yeah.
yourself some mugs.
I remember that store. I don't even know if it's still there.
It's not the same place. It's like really small now, but
Yeah.
they still exist.
Wow.
Do you remember Parsons?
Yeah, I do remember Parsons. My grandparents loved Parsons.
My
And then
mom
they stopped selling Hallmark stuff, and then my grandma wasn't as big a fan of it.
That's probably why they shut down. If they stopped selling Hallmark stuff. I mean, that and Rite Aid opening up.
And like
I remember
going everywhere.
Yeah, it was probably the only pharmacy in Canby, and then like just all these, like every grocery store has a pharmacy now.
Yeah.
That's
I
sad.
remember walking in there, like we just walk around Canby, and there's like nothing in Canby, so you just like go wherever you could, and then like one of our stops would be Parsons when we made it to downtown. We just walk in there. They had the weirdest stuff in there. It was such a weird store. Like I kind of miss it,
They had during like Christmas, they'd always have their villages up, and it was really fun to like walk down those aisles with like their village set up.
They had the
Mhm.
coolest Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, all their lights and everything. That was cool.
Mm.
And they'd always have like weird candy, right? I remember getting some like crazy candy from there.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Really?
I feel like they had something like that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see it happening.
Yeah, it's one of those weird stores that just has like unique items.
It was like the last like American drugstore in Canby,
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just the
Remember-
trunk of my car.
Yeah. What is it now?
The last American drugstore in Canby.
Yeah.
Were you in Canby when the Canby bowling alley was around?
I was there, like I got there and then it shut down.
Oh.
Maybe I had something to do with it, maybe I didn't. Who's to say?
Did you ever
But-
get a bowl around there?
Yeah, I remember liking Malala's bowling alley better.
It was.
Not so I just never really went to Canby's. Canby's was smaller, I didn't think the food was as good, People are easily amused by cosmic bowling, but that's just because we live in a society full of magpies who love shiny, bright things, I just like going to Malala, getting maybe a medium fry and a Hawaiian fruit punch and just playing a few rounds with the boys. I'm a simple guy.
And you could
Yeah,
get free bowling tickets like anywhere in Malala.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you just like walk in a door, grab some, and go bowling.
That shut down too.
Yeah. But I don't think it's been torn down. Like it's been
It's still
shut down
there.
like 4 times.
I went recently, so I
Yeah.
don't know. I remember Canby's bowling alley though smelled so bad because
It always reeked of cigarettes.
there was a ton of smoke in there. That was the main concern for me. We actually went on a field trip there because we won, like our class won this I forgot what it was, but we won a prize, and it was going to the bowling alley and going to the movies. And it was probably the coolest day of school in my entire life. Just going to the bowling alley and going to see a movie.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah.
I remember when we went to the movie theaters to watch Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys experienced that. I remember, I think it was in middle school, and we were doing our history unit on Lincoln, and then it all culminated in watching the movie, and they bussed in everyone to Canby Cinema 8. They filled up all the theaters of my grade, and we watched Lincoln.
I heard of that happening. I wasn't part of it, so
It's yeah, you didn't miss much.
How was it?
It wasn't all. I haven't watched it since.
well, he died.
I hate to
not
spoil it. Yeah.
I have no clue what happens to Abraham Lincoln in his life.
Regardless, just a penny, the 1 cent. That's all you can. That's all you're remembered for.
I don't know why he's on the penny. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a penny right here. Look how this is the most disrespected penny. I think I washed it, but even then, You know, it's not in very good shape. You know, because that's I watch people throw away pennies. You know, they don't even care. Canada stopped making the penny. You know.
Wow. You know, remember that SpongeBob episode where he's like trapped in his house? He's like alone. He has a penny, a tissue, and like the chip. Remember that?
Yeah.
There's, like,
I do.
penny, chip, tissue. I don't know. That was why I thought of that. But...
Lincoln didn't even make it on that penny either. So.
No, yeah, no.
I feel like it's almost disrespectful to put someone on a penny.
Yeah. I want the 100 grand. I want the, yeah.
Society decided to start charging an extra 99 cents for things. So here's a penny to remind you of that.
Yeah.
It's because it sounds so much better. Like $19.99, you know?
Not $20.
Yeah, it's more. You like surround that number in some red. You think you're getting a really good deal.
You have Billy. Oh my gosh.
Billy the Kid.
No.
Billie Eilish.
Billy Eyelash. Idol.
Billy Idol.
No, from those. Is it Swifter? It's not Swifter.
You're drawing blanks here, bud.
The Swiffer Sweeper.
The Swiffer.
No, he's got like that rag.
Phil Swift. Oh, the Sham Wow. Are you talking about the Sham Wow?
Oh.
Yeah.
Billy Mays?
Billy Mays. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know if he did the Sham Wow. He was OxyClean.
He did OxyClean, yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Mays here.
With OxyClean.
The number one stain lifter in America.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Man, that was a sad day when I heard he died. I was bummed out. And I was like a kid in grade school. Just like, the guy from the OxyClean. Yeah, I wanted to sell OxyClean when I grew up.
That's crazy. Because you don't, like, no one, like, really in the commercial business these days, you really think about as being, like, an idol. Like, he really had.
No, I idolize Phil Swift.
Okay, well, yeah, Phil Swift. He's kind of like the same sort of deal, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he invented Flex Seal, so it's like I got even more admiration for him.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He just believes in that product, and I do too. I have a pool in my backyard, like a just an above ground like Intex pool, and like because like we stored it on concrete, like when we were putting back up, it got a few tears in it. We flex tape it after we fill up the water. I slap it on just like the commercial, you know. I go like that, you know, and it worked. It stopped leaking. You know, this isn't an ad either, but you know, it works. That was a surprise to me.
Have you seen that meme where it's like, I sawed this boat in half just to tape it back together?
Yeah, that's
just slaps it on there. Isn't that one of the commercials? He like puts his boat together.
Yeah,
and he's boating on it.
Well, he did it again. He did it again. So one of the original commercials was him sawing the boat in half. And then a year later, he's like, I sawed my boat in half again. And this time it's a screen door in the middle. And he like flex sprayed it all together. Or no, he used flex tape clear so he could like see the water under him. And then he like to bring it to the next level, he was in a pool of sharks. Oh. So not only was he in the flex tape clear boat, you could see sharks under him. Gosh, you know, that's when I knew. That's when I knew it could fix my pool.
Right. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. It was a lot of damage. I was a little bit nervous for his bucket.
He's right. It was a lot of damage.
Yeah. There was no one quite like Billy Mays growing up. No one else. I mean, now it's like Phil Swift, you know. I wonder who
that's the closest thing.
Yeah, I wonder who the next commercial guy is going to be.
Some home
I don't know.
Product.
Yeah. Well, the original guy was Tim the Toolman Taylor, I feel like. If you ever heard of him, Tim Allen, yes. You know, he kind of had his infomercial thing, TV show, but it was like a whole show, and that inspired Billy Mays. And there's that guy, it's an Australian guy who did the Sham Wow, and he still does a lot of commercials. I feel like I'll see him every now and then. But yeah, it's Phil Swift's the guy right now, and he's waiting for someone to try and knock him off his perch.
Which will be a while. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I miss seeing the As Seen on TV sticker on like a ton of stuff.
I've seen it recently. I forgot what it was.
I see it every once in a while. I see it on Flex Tape. But,
yeah.
Not on much else.
Yeah, that used to be a trip too. You go to the Buy Mart, you go to the As Seen on TV section. You know, you get the copper fit over there. You get the, you know, there's like all these different like non-stick pans. There's like things that like make your eggs a certain shape. You know, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's classic stuff.
I don't get the point of like having your eggs be a certain shape. I kind of like when they're like wacky, you know, not wacky, but like normal.
Yeah, I love zany eggs.
Yeah,
you know?
Zany egg. I bet we could start like a brand of something called Zany eggs.
Zany eggs. I go to the Denny's and ask for my eggs to be cooked zany.
Zany.
Just confuse the waiter. They have to have a conversation with the chef. I don't know. You just ask for him zany. I don't know. Just figure something out. You know. And then no matter what they bring me, like I look at them with disappointment. I'd be like, "Well, you're not getting tipped, are you?"
He just took his pants off. You were just sitting there, in the middle of you talking. He just
You were saying, Chad?
Oh, you something about zany eggs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to remove my pants for a second.
Did your family ever go to like that breakfast restaurant growing up?
There's this place I think in Malala called like Joni's or something. It's by like the Chase Bank.
Yeah.
I might be getting the name wrong.
Cindy's, I think.
Cindy's, excuse me. Cindy's is really good. You know, and then there's the classic Jasper's in Malala. Back when they owned the whole thing and they weren't leasing out part of it, you know. And those were some classic spots. I also went to my grandma's house for breakfast. I'd have breakfast at my grandma's house. I'd see Teddy there sometimes.
Yeah. I'll go to Chad's grandma's house for breakfast.
Best breakfast in town. You know, you had to be there.
Yeah, I'd go miles to get there.
Yeah, it was really good breakfast.
You were there, Kade. Don't act like you were.
Yeah, come on, Kade. I never saw you there.
I went on your guys' off days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
no, my grandma makes Swedish pancakes, which are like crepes but less healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just the thin pancake with like powdered sugar, and then you can put like syrup on them. But they're just the best. Like they come out with the best texture, and I gotta learn how to make them because they're so good. And I feel like that's a unique experience for me getting to eat those because I don't know many people. Like the closest thing you can say to them is crepes because there's a similar way to make them.
Yeah,
I've seen the pancakes with sugar before, but not like a crepe. So that sounds.
Yeah, these are like very thin, but they're still like soft.
Yeah,
they're not like crispy.
Right.
My grandma, she'd always do. She called them Mickey Mouse pancakes. So it's just one big pancake and two small pancakes for the ears. So, you know, but it's like one pancake, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and then she'd throw on some chocolate chips. Sometimes she'd make them. She'd place them like his face.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Surprised she didn't get sued.
Oh yeah, Disney told her to stop.
She put the chocolate chips on it once, and then they're like, "We actually own the intellectual rights to chocolate chips.
Yeah.
You aren't allowed to do that."
Yeah, gave her classic cease and desist.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were swatted. Got raided by the police.
Yeah, by big Disney corporation.
We smell them.
The Jonas Brothers broke down your door and said, "We smell chocolate chips."
Yeah.
Those better not be on mouse-shaped pancakes.
Hey!
hey, here. We like Hannah Montana's just there.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like one of the Jonas Brothers' last day before their retirement. They're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I have to deal with this."
Yeah.
It was their last
days.
call.
Yeah, it was our last call. One of them isn't making it out alive either. Your grandma's not going down without a fight.
Oh man.
This is the last time.
I'm sick. She says, "I'm sick and tired of being harassed by you dang Jonas Brothers." They even got the fourth one, the little kid. Younger than him. It's too much.
Yeah, I don't know any of their names. I'll be honest.
She says she's a bigger Big Time Rush fan than Jonas Brothers.
Big Time Rush is better. I'll say that. I love Big Time Rush.
Big Time Rush was on Nickelodeon, yeah?
Yeah.
They were awesome.
I like their manager.
Oh, yeah.
the older guy.
Isn't he the one that was like arrested for some or was that someone else in Nickelodeon?
I don't know.
I remember hearing about one of those guys.
Anytime like I hear like arrests like that, I just think of Chumley from Pawn Stars.
Oh, dude.
He seems to get arrested.
Does he?
Yeah, he owns like a lot of guns and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Dude, Pawn Star. Dude, all those TLC shows were so cool. Those were on TLC.
Mm-hmm. It was on History. I think they're all one corporation though.
Oh, yeah, that like Storage Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like A&E, but I think they're all the same, and they're like the same type of TV.
Yeah.
Made me want to go buy a storage locker, see what kind of treasures I could find in there, take it to an expert, and then right before they tell me the price, we cut to commercial break.
Yeah. Right before anything exciting happens, it gets to commercial break.
Yes.
Yeah, I open the door, commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
I try and propose to my wife, commercial break.
Yeah. You open up the locker and you're like, "Oh my!" Commercial break.
There's just some shine. There's like some yellow light, kind of just blinding an object.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a dresser. There is nothing inside.
It's a chair.
I love when they come back and it's like not even like close to how it like left off. It's just like, oh, okay, they just wanted you to keep watching through the commercials.
Uh-huh.
That happens all the time.
Chad?
Appears we are running out of time.
Yeah, we covered. I think we did a good job this episode.
We completely just killed it in terms of what we were trying to cover.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Little bit for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a little something for everyone.
You got the Pawn Stars crowd cover.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got talking about that, but we did. Yeah, and that's what counts.
We really went off the deep end this one.
Yep.
That makes it a pod.
Yeah, you got to keep the audience guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Complete 90-degree turn.
Yeah, it's gonna be real hard coming up with a title for this episode.
Tag the movie featuring Jeremy Renner commentary with Kade and Teddy featuring Chad.
Sponsored by J. Crew.
It is powered by Cash App.
That's a good sponsorship. They could just give you cash. It's their
fueled by Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel.
Fueled by Kirkland Purified Water.
What's oh my gosh. Powered by
I'm being counted by Movement watches.
Just something that doesn't exist anymore is what I'm thinking. Like powered by
Kmart.
Firefox.
Powered by ask.com. Powered by Pop Tropica.
Dude, I would be so down.
I would be so down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea for a future episode.
Pop Tropica.
Just like all those like flip games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the whole episode of Pop Tropica.
Yeah.
So I've been stuck on this spy level for 4 years. Can't get past it.
It's gonna be like a let's play though.
Hey guys, back on the pod. You guys can't see what's going on, but just finished designing my Pop Tropica character. What a great side scroller.
It was really nice to have you on the show.
Yeah.
If you liked hearing from Chad, check out his podcast, the Chadcast.
Yeah.
You can
Right
find it
there.
on pretty much every podcast
You know,
platform.
Yep, I'm on Anchor, but I'm also on everything else. Spotify, iTunes, Overcast. I got to plan Overcast today. I also got a podcast out. So I keep track of the numbers and whatnot. But I mean, it's great to be a guest. Switch it up a little bit. Kade and Teddy, I watched their first one, I may rewatch this one. I don't know. I was on this one. But we've been talking about so much. I just got to relive it, of course. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great having you, Chad. We got some good raw content from you, for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's my goal. I am content,
Yeah.
I look in the mirror. I'm looking at my face in the corner of the Zoom right now, and I just see content.
That's exactly what I see.
Mm-hmm. And I am 100% content with that.
Ooh, there it is. There's the content.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. See that gem I just dropped? You guys go ahead and pick that up.
Now we're bound to get sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
That alone.
Well, guys, thanks for listening to Growing Up in the 2000s. I've been your host, Kade.
And I have been your host, Teddy.
And we hope you'll tune in next week. Have a wonderful night.
And have a good morning.